Hello and welcome to Wacky Wednesday with Pierpoint. So this is the spot that we normally have for Securities Lending Live with Pierpoint. But today, not even I'm going to talk about securities lending. That's how dedicated we are to going out with a bang this year. So thanks very much for joining us. I'm Roy Zimmerhansel. I founded Pierpoint, and I'm one of your co-hosts today. Today, I'm joined by the Pierpoint team, as well as a couple of special guests. We've got some trivia questions for the panelists. We've got quizzes for the audience. That's you that's watching now. And we're going to learn a little bit about the people that we have with us or not, and that'll become more clear later on. And we have a couple of special treats related to the quiz, and we're also going to hear from our guests on a couple of special messages. And then stay to the end because there'll be news about the quiz, and Grant is going to take us out on a high for 2020. So no pressure on you, Grant. But if it isn't a big closing, then we'll actually blame you for the rest of 2020 and into 2021. So enough for me. Let me ask my guests to introduce themselves. And while you're introducing yourself, can you also tell me what your perfect Christmas dinner is? And maybe if I can start with Ali.
Hey, Roy. First of all, big thank you. Really excited to be here with you this morning. And my name is Ali Kazmi. I'm a managing director at Hansuke. We are a specialist tax advisory firm, and I've been in the securities lending industry for the last 20 plus years. Christmas lunch, it has to be traditional. I'm a pretty traditional conservative guy. So turkey or chicken, goes down really well. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. And our other special guest, Grant, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. So my name's Grant Davies. I'm responsible for sales in Europe for Equilend's products. Equilend is a financial technology firm for the securities finance industry. Favorite Christmas dinner? No, I'm pretty traditional as well, yeah. So you've got to have pigs in blankets. Got to be specific. The stuffing's got to be crispy stuffing balls, chestnuts. Roast potatoes have got to be in goose fat, and it's all about the dessert, yeah. Christmas pud, set fire with brandy, and a big hurrah for the Christmas pud.
Yeah, well done, well done. Both of those sound absolutely fantastic, and we have a big vat of goose fat sitting on the kitchen counter at the moment, waiting for Christmas dinner. Let's see, where are we going to go next? Zafira, over to you. Very nice. Christmassy outfit there.
Thank you. I made an effort. Yes. So my name is Zafira Jitu. I am part of the Pierpoint Consulting team, and I look after the training branch of the business. I'm the training and education partner, and I have 12 years experience in learning and development, especially focusing on development and of staff in financial services. So that's me. And favorite dinner, to be honest, with me, it's not so much the dinner, it's more the desserts and the snacks that go with it. Like, I love little morsels of trying all the different new types of canapes and cheese board, and I love a mince pie, really. I mean, I was contemplating having one for breakfast this morning. But I stopped myself, and Isn't
there something about you're supposed to have a mince pie every day in the 12 days of Christmas or something? I think there's some.
Is that a thing? See, nobody told me that, and it's probably a good thing.
Check that.
It could be a mince pie advent calendar, Roy. There's the thing.
You could have that as well.
Yeah, mince pie. Just love a mince pie, and I don't even need it with like ice cream or clotted cream or custard or anything. No, I'll be quite happy to have it with, a cup of coffee. So might do that after.
Very nice. So my wife, who doesn't have a sweet tooth, loves mince pies, but also smothered with custard clotted cream. I mean, literally anything you can put on it. I think even some brandy, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that's a separate. Thanks very much, Safira. Julian?
Morning, everybody. My name's Julian Eyre, and I've been working with the Pierpoint team now for a couple of months, talking to the business about a digitization agenda, seeing if we can gain some traction for 2021, and also the common domain model initiative cross-industry. I think there's an interesting question that hasn't been asked, Roy, and that is, who here is cooking their own Christmas lunch? And I think that there would be different answers depending upon who was cooking it. I'd probably have a go. Being also a traditionalist like the team, I think I'd quite like a cheese souffle to start off with, roast turkey, the full works, although I think, don't tell anybody we're having chicken this year. I don't fancy turkey until February. And then I'm not a big fan of Christmas pudding, so I think that I would go for something a little lighter touch, maybe some cheese. That would work well for me, and a nice bottle of red. There we go.
Okay, you can sign me up for all of that, but I have to admit, I would have turkey 365 days a year. It's one of my favorites. So I'll come around to your place in February because it's hard to get then. Right, thanks. And now to the beautiful and talented co-host today, Jeroen.
Hey, you have to do everything once in your life, and the lockdown have created new opportunities. But being a co-host on a quiz was not one of them that I had on the top of my list. Welcome everyone. My name is Jeroen Bakker. I am the Benelux Pierpoint lead, and I'm wishing you all already a merry, happy Christmas. In relation to the Christmas lunch. Funny enough, I have to go with the majority here, and I have to go roast beef, and I think that's also what's on the menu on the 25th. And now you mentioned mince pies, that just brought me back to the time when I was on the trading floor at HPC. We started probably like 2 months before Christmas to do a Christmas pie comparison, which meant that we ate Christmas pies or mince pies from probably big end of October till the end of December, and by the time it was November, we couldn't think anywhere any new ones, so we did it all over again. But funny enough, that I did recall is that the cheaper ones quite often win it from the expensive ones. So hey, the Harrods and the Marks and the Fortune and Mason didn't always were the best mince pies.
Aldi do a really good range, by the way.
Yeah. Good.
I think that's a common story that people tell, is that it's not about the price. It isn't about the price. But I think you probably started them in October because that's when the stores started selling them in the run up to Christmas. So it won't be long until you'll be doing that from August.
Sure.
So we'll get started in a second. I just want to say hello to some of the people that have signed on. So tell us where you're watching from. So let me say hello to Ali, who's come in from Bristol, and Stephen. I haven't spoken with you for ages. Hope you're keeping well. And the same with Nicola. So we have representation from Paris. So very good. So thanks everyone, and anyone else that's sort of logged in. Tell us where you've come in from. We normally have quite a battle between Kent and the Netherlands. And I don't necessarily see either of them represented.
Oh,
you don't count.
Right. Oh, sorry, damn.
Okay, so listen. This first question is for everyone, and that will determine the order that we go on from here. So, which country is the largest exporter of Christmas trees? Maybe we'll do ladies first. Oh, and wait before you.
Yeah. Nicola is in Luxembourg.
Nicola is now in Luxembourg, so my apologies. And I think you might be our first watcher from Luxembourg on the live event. Most people end up watching this on the recording. Sorry. Safira, over to you. Which country exports the most trees? Christmas trees.
Oh.
Roy, is there a timeline? Because it's like 3, 2, 1.
I have no idea. Is it like, what is it, Lapland?
Lapland. Just so you know, Lapland's not a country, but I will take that answer. Grant, what about you?
Well, you would suggest it's Norway, yeah, because it would make sense.
Okay, so Norway from Grant. Ali?
Finland.
Finland. Julian?
I should go for Sweden, though I think it might be Norway as well. But Sweden, just for a change.
Sweden. And Ali, you're last one in on this, so you have the best chance. Which country do you think, Ali?
I said Finland.
Sorry, you said Finland. Sorry, who hasn't gone?
I haven't yet. And knowing, of course, your history, I would say Canada, but I'm not going to go Canada. I'm going to go Turkey.
Turkey. That's an interesting one. Just so you know, this is generally true in life. Go with your gut instinct. First, Canada. And so the country that's closest to Canada geographically is Norway. So Grant, that means that you have it. So Grant, what Grant is going to do now is Grant's going to tell us all a story, and I want people in the audience to tell us whether what Grant is telling us is a true story or whether it's a lie. So when he finishes his story, put your answers in there, and then I'm going to ask, when Grant's done, I'm going to ask the panelists what they think, whether it's the truth or a lie. So Grant, over to you.
Okay, I'll start with a statement, yeah? So the statement is, I am distantly related to the royal family. So how do I get to that? Yeah, so look, I'm going to introduce you to Uncle Mike. So can you see Uncle Mike? Uncle Mike is a character that used to wander up my drive, a couple of bottles of champagne and a Panama hat every summer. Miss him dearly. Now, Uncle Mike was married to Pawpaw. So this is a picture of Mike with Pawpaw. Pawpaw had a lot of cats, but her name was Paula. She was related to the Spencer family. Now, because of that relationship to the Spencer family, so not blood, but literally by marriage, during one year, the Spencer family had a bit of an outreach to the distant members of the family, and we had a little bit of an invitation to lunch at the Royal Lodge at Windsor. So that's Fergie's and Andy's place. So a gathering of the Spencer clan and distant relatives. And I actually ended up sitting next to Fergie. So it was summer. So, you know, it's outside in the gardens. Gardens there are very nice. I've got some open top sandals on. Fergie kept commenting on my feet. I've got quite pretty feet for a bloke, got to say. Yeah, so I'll put it out there. I'll show you my feet when you're interested. But Fergie paid a lot of interest in my feet during that lunch, and I didn't think much of it, but it kept coming up during discussion. And then not long after that, clearly, the foot-sucking pictures emerged later in the press, and so I think I had a narrow escape. So that's my distant relation to the royal family, and so my lunch with Fergie.
Great. So listen, thanks very much. That clears something up for me, because there had been rumors about your linkages to the royal family for ages now. So I'm glad that now it's out there in the open, no blood relation, but as you say, a connection. So before I go to the panelists, so everyone in the audience, tell us, is Grant telling the truth, or is that a fictional account? And I'm going to ask the panelists in a minute. And first, I'm going to say hello to Bhavna. Thanks, Bhavna. You are probably geographically the furthest away from us, so thanks for joining. Jill is making a strong appearance from Kent. Well done to Kent and Jill. I'm sure they're proud of you. Stephen, as we said, Norway was close. It was the closest answer for Christmas trees. Well done to Rowena, and hello to Steve. So, Julian, is Grant telling the truth, or is it a lie?
I'm sure that Grant is incredibly well connected, and delightful that I'm sure his experience on toe sucking might have been. I don't think he's telling the truth. Sorry, mate.
All right, Safira?
I think it's not a true story, because is it not bad form to have open-toed shoes if you're with, you know, in those sort of circles?
Close family, a different kind of discussion, I think. Yeah, you can do a little bit more. There's a lot of things going on in close family, royal family.
I
More than
don't
you
know if that
expect.
was a dress code. So for me, I was thinking about it more from the dress code perspective. Would you wear sandals to something like that? I don't think so. So I'll have to agree with Julian and say that's not true.
Okay, thanks for that. Jeroen?
No matter whether or not the story is true or not, I think Grant is royal anyway, so I think the story is 100% true.
Okay, true. That's very good. So we know at least one person will be right. But either way it goes. So, Ali, are you going to weigh down heavily on the lie side, or are you going to opt for the truth?
I love the story, but I think it was good until it got to the feet part. So I saw Fergie on a plane once as well, but I'm not sure you're her type.
My feet maybe though.
You know, and one of the things to watch for when people are telling lies is often people that tell lies tell intricate details, and that's the thing that puts them over the edge. So we basically have heavily weighted towards a lie from the audience. Mostly the people watching think it's the truth. So we'll see who's right, the audience or the panelists. So Grant, put us out of our misery. What is it?
There's a lot of true facts in there, but I won't tell you what they are. But overall, it's a lie.
Right. So well done to everyone that pointed that out as a lie. Oddly, I feel a little bit let down now. Actually, I was hoping it was true. But there you go. So Grant, now your choice is, will it be Zafira or Julian? Pick one of the two to go next.
Oh, I'm going straight for Julian because of the jumper.
So Mr. Sparkles.
Wise decision.
Now Julian is going to tell us, he's going to give us 3 sentences or 3 statements about himself. 2 of them are lies and 1 of them is the truth. So panelists, I want you to tell me which one is the truth, but not until I ask you. And the same with everyone in the audience watching, which one is the truth. So Julian, go ahead, please.
Okay, so 2 are truthful, 2 are lies, and 1 is truthful. So I am a fanatical mushroom fiend. I love porcini. I love any type of mushroom that is available. I love it on my pasta. I love it with my fry up. And I am very much a mushroom enthusiast. The second thing that is definitely of interest is that I can sing. My wife is incredibly musical, and I have an amazing baritone, I'm told, whatever that is. I mean, that is. And it never rains when I sing at all. So the first one is mushrooms. The second one is that I can sing beautifully. And the third item is the Alps. Do I really adore the mountains? Bloody hell, it's freezing, it's covered in snow, and it's just lovely. I mean, I really love the Alps. So those are my 3. The mountains, I can sing, and mushrooms. Take your pick.
Okay. Well, I don't know if there's a little bit of double bluff going all throughout that, but we'll actually have a look. So again, mushrooms, is he an excellent singer, or is it the Alps? So again, people in the audience, let us know what you think. In the meantime, panelists, you think about it. And I want to say hello to Maciej, very much part of the team, although he's not part of the company. So continues to help fuel our developments on the website, and there's more stuff hopefully being announced this week. And hello to Gregor from Slovenia. So thanks for joining us again. Right. So panelists, tell me what you think. Let's start with Grant. You put Julian in this place. So which one is the truth?
Which one is the truth? I think the porcini mushrooms and mushrooms full stop. It looks like a mushroom addict.
there's so many
kind of mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I think distantly in university days might have been different kind of mushrooms, but now I think there's just a general love. I could see Julian loving the Alps. Am I allowed to continue through the whole lot?
Well, just it would be good if you could just pick one.
Okay, that's the one. So the one I picked that is true is mushrooms. Mushrooms.
Julian, is there any truth to the rumor that you're moving to Colorado, and does it have anything to do with mushrooms? No, wait, save that. Zafira, Julian and his 3 statements.
Well, Julian, you didn't make that really difficult because I think I know the answer. So I think I shouldn't really say because I know what the right answer is.
Okay. All right. That's very honest of you, Zafira. Very good. Jeroen, over to you.
Yeah, funny enough is that I'm with Zafira because we did a presentation and unfortunately Julian gave a bit of a clue there. So I'll let the other panelists go first, and then Zafira and I will jointly say the answer.
Okay, good. And then Ali, over to you. It isn't fair because we have done sessions with Julian, and we also have team meetings. So maybe we have the inside track. So Ali, over to you. What's it going to be?
I agree. I think he's definitely a fungophile. I think I might have seen him down at the local Pizza Express with a pile of mushrooms on the pizza. So definitely
a mushroom muncher is what we're saying.
That's new
or as Steve Anderson says, a fun guy.
Yeah. So Steve wins the prize for dad joke of the session. Julian seems like a fun guy. Right, very good. And Julian, you're also a hit. You're also a hit with the jumper from Stephen as well. So well done. And Alan Bulk thinks that it's actually Dutch mushrooms, not just mushrooms. He thinks you're a favorite of Dutch mushrooms, which puts a different twist on it. So well done. So Julian, put us all out of our misery. What is it?
No, hang on.
Sorry. Zafira and Jeroen, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to announce it, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
The mountains. Saudi Alps mountains. Yeah, definitely.
So,
is it true?
I mean, a good shout from all of the panelists. The only good mushroom is a mushroom in the bin. And I love these social media posts where there's a chap saying a story about mushrooms. He chops them all up and he just slides the whole lot straight into the bin. That is the best use of mushrooms, I have to say. I think they're appalling, revolting, and I can't abide the texture. Anyway, so that's that one. Singing, I have to say, I can't sing a note either. Whilst the rest of my household is particularly musical, I might say. What I lack in quality, I make up for in volume. And so Jeroen and Zafira did have some inside information. And I am a passionate mountain man, and I adore my skiing. And I've done some pretty big trips across the Alps, Haute Route, for example, and ski touring. So we walk up when there's no lifts. And with that in mind, I'm looking forward to being allowed back into France in due course, even if the lifts are shut. Myself and a couple of mates, we will walk up with our skis on and ski down. So there we go. Thank you very much.
And Julian, I've experienced your volume of singing at the Christmas breakfast, so I didn't want to give too much away. I knew the quality wasn't there, but the vocal contribution was.
Nicely put, Grant. I appreciate your feedback on that one.
I should have mentioned one of the reasons that we invited Grant on was exactly the Christmas breakfasts that Grant has been hosting or co-hosting in recent years. So in the absence of that, Grant, we thought we would have you on today.
We'll bring him back next year. The full vocal voice. We sing well at the breakfasts, and we missed them this year. Next year, full voice. We'll take over Simpsons, and we'll have a bloody good sing-song.
But you drink well as well.
We do have a nice Guinness and champagne during the same time to encourage the singing and the lack of inhibition.
Yeah, it's all about the vocal cords.
Exactly.
Correct. Right. So as I said, I had a co-host here, which is Jeroen. Now I am going to hand over to Jeroen, and this section is for the audience, right? So the panelists aren't going to be playing this, just the people in the audience, and we're going to be tabulating the results, and there will be a tiny token of our appreciation and a prize for the person who gets the most right answers from the audience. So I'm going to hand over to Jeroen, and I'm going to mute all of the panelists for this next piece.
Well, thanks, Roy. Well, you call it tiny. Some people might call it big. So there are big prizes to be won, and the format is actually quite simple. We're gonna do 2 times 5 questions. They're gonna be general knowledge, a bit of geography, maybe a bit of securities finance, and the first one that answers give the right answer in the chat will get a point, and then the end of the story, who has the most points wins the great prize. So because there's a bit of a lag between what I'm saying and the chat filling up, there might be a bit of a cross going on. So we will continue we're going to continue formulating the questions, even though the answer might not be given yet, because we don't want to have too much delay in the process. So without further ado, let me start off with the quiz. So we're going to do 5 questions now. We're going to have a break. We're going to have something else, and then we're going to come back with 5 more. So first question of the quiz. What 4-letter acronym changed the securities finance world in 2020? So I think that would be an easy one, but hey, you never know. Put the answers in the chat, and and Roy and I will see which one comes up first, and with the answer. I'll go back to the second question. Horse racing. Where does the Grand National take place? And that's either the name of the place or the actual race course, but they're the same. So hey, go ahead. Then there we are. First word question answered by Rowena. Rowena, 1 point. So forget about answering the first question. Go straight to the second one. Then we go on to the third one. In which city is the famous Dutch cheese market? So for all you Dutchies there. And there we have one for Steve for question number 2. Great, Steve. Thank you for that. And it's correct. So that was question number 3. Which city is the famous Dutch cheese market? Question number 4. What is the largest domesticated cat breed in the world? Question number 4. And no, question 3 is not answered yet. Well, I know there's some Dutchies there, so come on, get the answers in there. And question number 4 was, what is the largest domesticated cat breed in the world? We're still waiting for an answer on that one. And number 5 is whoever said Amsterdam, not right. What is the Woerden, also not right. What is the largest cathedral in Milan called? So question number 5, what is the largest cathedral in Milan called? Groningen, spelled right, but still wrong. Too bad. So we're still having number 3. Which city is the famous Dutch cheese market? Number 4, what is the largest domesticated cat breed in the world? And number 5, what is the large cathedral in Milan called? Answers in the chat room. And while answers are being populated, Roy, I will give the voice back to you.
Right. So thanks, Jeroen. So we're still looking for 3, 4, and 5. Which city is famous Dutch cheese market? Largest domesticated cat breed.
We'll wait for further people to come in.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask a second question for the panelists and audience. Feel free to participate as well. So this question is, which came first?
Roy might be having technical difficulties. Or I have.
Are you allowed to give any clues?
Wait a minute.
It's not you, Jeroen.
Are
We can
you
hear you.
The cheese market
can't see Roy.
question?
Can't see me. That's great. You can't hear
Oh,
me.
you got some answers
And
coming
there
in.
we have the answer. I can't see who it is. Duomo di Milano. That's the one from 113107. We'll see who that is. Who is that?
Stephen S.
Gregor. You had it right. Alkmaar is indeed the famous city where the Dutch cheese market is. And I just need to know who was the
Can you hear me?
first one that came up with the Milan answer. I just see LinkedIn user.
Say Stephen S.
And Roy is having some technical issues. So we'll continue. What we'll do, as well, we have everybody on the line. We'll continue with the fifth questions number 6 till 10 as well. And Stephen, you had the Italian one, and of course, Stefan, I wouldn't have any doubt that that you had the right answer on that one. Okay, good. What we'll do is we'll go to questions 6 till 10. While Roy is sorting out his connections.
So,
And again, you do the...
okay, now. Can you hear me yet? Hello?
Somebody already saw the answer saw the question of question number 6 on the screen, while I haven't even answered it yet, and it was correct. It is indeed Ljubljana, and the question was, of course, what is the capital of Slovenia? That is indeed Ljubljana. Question number 7. What is Europe's largest port? So what is Europe's largest port? Question number 7. So question number 6 is already answered. Question number 7. What is Europe's largest port? Someone is saying that you can hear Roy, but we can't hear Roy. So
No.
So in the audience, can you hear me? Someone could type that in. I have 20 seconds delay, so I won't know. Stephen can hear me.
So apparently, hey, there it is, Rotterdam. That was, of course, the answer to question number 7, the largest port in Rotterdam. So people can hear Roy, but not everybody can hear Roy. So he's sorting out his technical issues. Then we're going to go to Graham's is not right, Steve. Sorry. Then we're going to go to question number 8. After what person, after who, is the Rugby World Trophy named? So after who, or after what person is the Rugby World Trophy named? That is question number 8.
Any rugby fans?
That was question number 8. Yeah, correct. It is Rotterdam. Unfortunately, someone beat you to it already. So good answer, but unfortunately, somebody will beat you to it. Question number 9. Next to Lewis Hamilton, which 2 Formula 1 drivers have won the Formula 1 championship in the last 10 years? So I need 2 names, and first names or last names, doesn't matter. I need 2 names, and I will give you a hint. It is 2 German Formula 1 drivers. And if you could put your names in the chat, then those are the answers to question number 9. And we now go on to question number 10, the last one. In which Parisian neighbourhood is the Sacré-Coeur located? Steve Anderson, you got question number, what was it, number 8, right? Because that is indeed Map Alice. So we're still looking for Vettel and Schumacher. Steve is unfortunately not right. You can go again if you want. There's no maximum of how you can how many you can end. Montmartre is I can't see who that is. M. Schumacher is also not right. I said in the last 10 years, Mr. Schumacher was a bit before that. Schumacher and Vettel also not right. Both German, but not the German I was looking for. Who is the LinkedIn user who gave Montmartre? Because that is the right answer to number 10. Yeah, Steve, that is indeed Montmartre, but somebody beat you to it, unfortunately. Pigalle, yeah, close, but I was actually looking for Montmartre. Vettel and Rosberg, yes, there we are, Steve Anderson. So that's question number 9 goes to you as well. And those are all the right answers. So actually, I still haven't have an answer to the largest domesticated cat breed in the world. Apparently, that is a very difficult question. But apart from those ones,
user,
all,
Jerome, can you hear me?
all the answers are given, and I think we'll collect all the names and see who has most. But I think we have a fair winner. But we'll come back to that later. Roy, are you back online? Can you?
Yeah. So
can you be heard?
Can anyone hear me now? Panelists, shake your head up or down. Can you hear me yet?
Stefan, you had Montmartre right. Ooh, Steve S. instead. Ooh. Good. Okay. Saber-tooth. Yes, it's very domesticated cat. Unfortunately, I can't give that as a right answer, Steve. Sorry. It is funny though, but hey. Let's see if Roy is back online again.
Okay. Can anyone hear me yet?
Jerome, can you hear me?
Because there are still too many other things that would be great if we.
So I'm going to quiet Jeroen for a minute. Can anyone hear me now? I've muted Jeroen for a bit. Can anyone hear me now? And on the panel, can anyone? No, apparently not. So
that's
Jeroen?
Roy, I think, is back.
Jeroen, am I
Jerome,
back?
we can hear you still.
Good. Roy, can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can hear you. Can anyone hear me? Yes or no? Apparently not. Okay, look.
A lot of people
the
can hear.
audience.
This is odd. Some people can hear, and others can't.
Yeah, I've just muted.
Roy's
I've
clearly
just
playing around in the
muted
background.
Jeroen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Can
you.
anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So everyone else can hear us.
Jerome, can Grant speak? I note from Roy's agenda, whilst Roy gets back online, that Grant was going to give some background to the Securities Finance Charity Board.
Can you hear me,
Yes, Roy, we can hear you.
Julian?
Roy, we can hear you.
Okay, so
No,
can
You can't
Ali,
hear me at all.
Can you hear me? Ali, can you hear me?
I think some people can hear me.
Okay. So Ali, can you
Yes.
hear me? Yes. Okay, I've muted
Sophia can be
everyone.
heard.
Okay, Zafir's left for the day. So, right. So, what I want to do now is put this over to Grant, who will talk. Okay.
Can you hear me? Excellent. Look, so we're going to talk about the Securities Finance Charity Board a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I can hear you.
excellent. So look, May last year, we started something which we wanted to be an annual event. COVID has clearly suspended that. So last year we had a successful charity ball for our industry. One, to get our industry together, and secondly, to raise money for, I suppose, the more disadvantaged and underprivileged children in the direct vicinity of our world, i.e. London. So we successfully raised £68,000 at the event and during the year for the charities, which is being put to very good use by the International Bankers Charitable Trust. And what we're going to do on the next event, which was planned to be in May, and then delayed to November, but again delayed again. So is to show some examples of what those charities are doing and push to a larger event. So we were 250 people last year. We had ambitions and demand for extra tables. So we were going to be 350 people this year, moving away from the event location we had last year and moving to Plasterers Hall at 1 London Wall. Beautiful location. Had London Wall in the back gardens. And we've got a great event planned. It's something that we were considering this week and thinking about how we bring this back. And I think we need a bit more confidence in COVID, and we need a bit more confidence in the market. So the expectation at this point, of course, is that in the first quarter of next year, vaccinations will be more widely distributed, and hopefully our world gets back to a little bit more normality. Now, with that in mind, it takes a little bit of time to organise a ball. There's a few things to do. We have to make sure we have the availability of our entertainers. We need to make sure we've got availability of the event location. And I think there's going to be a bit of pent-up demand for a number of events actually next year. I've already got 2 balls, I think, that I'm working on with a couple of different people. But for our industry, we're planning at this moment, September, to be the date where we could actually bring the group together again, have some fun, and hopefully have some time again to socialize, something that I've missed dramatically. And I know a lot of the industry does too. We've got a friendly industry. We've got an industry that really does contribute to the charity. And you know what? Get everyone a little bit merry, the more they contribute and the more fun we have. So looking very much forward to it. Bear with us. I know a lot of people have donated and secured ball tables. As we get to the end of March, we'll be pushing again to fill those tables. Anyone clearly wants to put their name in for a table as we go towards September, then please contact us. I don't think we'll have issues filling those seats because of the demand we had previous to COVID. But yeah, that's the ball. We want to make it an annual event. We had plans for New York as well, and we still do. So we will be having an event in London and an event in New York. I think New York's probably going to be likely to be early in 2022. Over to you, Roy.
And thanks for that. Thanks for that, Grant. And we're now going to turn over to Ali.
That famous quote, "You're on mute," Roy.
Go to.
Hold on.
Okay, Ali, try again. Try again.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, it is the season for giving, and it's been a very odd year, as we know. So without falling into platitudes, I mean, I think the key thing is for us to spend the time over the next few weeks reflecting on what is it that we've gone through, what are the things. And the 2 things that really stand out for me are 2 charities that I've been involved with. Fortunately for us, we have Steve Anderson amongst the audience today. And Steve does a fantastic job. He's the CEO of Age Diversity Trust. And at Age Diversity, I mean, it's a very inclusive charity, because it, gender, race, sort of like it cuts across all of us. It's something we're going to confront. And I think sort of like going forward, we need a positive agenda to essentially in the corporate world to recognize just the positive contribution that people with age and experience can make. So I think Steve's doing a wonderful job. Please do find out from him. The other charity I was going to mention that's very close to my heart is Amos Trust. Amos Trust is basically a charity based in the City of London, 100 yards away from our offices at Monument. And their big program is around street justice. where they've had a campaign specific called On Her Terms, which is really about rescuing young girls from the streets and, just getting them back, into society to deal with things like self-worth, re-educating them. So please do get a chance, if you can, to look at age diversity and Amos Trust. So that's all I was going to say on that, Roy.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Ali. Two very worthy causes there, and the charity bowl of grants. So please do what you can, support all, do what you can to make a difference. So we're now going to get back into a little bit of fun. So I'm going to hand over to Zafira and ask her to give us her own version of 2 lies and a truth. So Zafira, I will unmute you and go over to you. And
ready? Can you?
Yeah, go ahead. All good.
Thanks. So thank you, everyone. I think it's my turn now to be a little bit enigmatic and put some statements out there. So my 3 statements are as follows. Zafira is a heavy metal fan and loves going to gigs. Zafira loves listening to jazz whilst cooking. And Zafira loves the Spice Girls and attended their concerts. So could we discuss which ones you think are true, or which one you think is the truth, and which are the false ones?
Okay, thanks for that. So Julian,
so the
which
3
one
again is heavy metal and gigs, jazz whilst cooking, and Spice Girls and attended their concerts.
Julian, over to you.
I think we lost Roy again.
So am I up first, Roy?
Yes.
As I seem to be online.
Yes.
I think, Zaf, that you've got 2 conflicting musical tastes there, heavy metal versus the Spice Girls. If they had a bottle of vodka each and had a fight, I'm sure the Spice Girls would win. And jazz whilst cooking, I think, is quite possible as well. So how do we link jazz to heavy metal or the Spice Girls? So I think the one that is correct is the jazz whilst cooking.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So.
Okay. So, can you hear me?
Yep.
Grant, you don't know me very.
Yes.
This is your chance.
I'm going to assume you can, and so if it's my choice, I'm going to do the opposite. Actually, I'm going to suggest that Zaf hates jazz, and she would absolutely not play jazz whilst cooking. I could see her as a huge heavy metal fan, commingled with a bit of Spice Girls.
Right.
You can only pick one.
Who's next? Come on, Roy.
Wait.
I'll go next.
Otherwise, I've got to sing a song.
No, let's not do that. I'll go next, and I'm definitely don't think that Zafira is a jazz fan, and just thinking of Sporty Spice and all those girls, nah, that's not going to happen. I think Zafira is a heavy metal. Yeah, definitely. Maybe even German heavy metal. Must be.
Thrash heavy metal.
Thrash heavy metal, yeah.
I'm going to be boring, and I will completely agree with that analysis. I think definitely a heavy metal. I can see her banging.
How are you guys coming up with
in the
that?
pit? Well, take us out of our suspense.
Roy?
I know the answers.
Are you going to answer that question, given you know me the longest?
I know the answer.
He's probably not allowed, and he knows you the longest, I think.
Okay. So Zafira, tell us what you think. What's the truth?
We've gone quiet. So should I?
Yes, go for it.
Should I reveal the answer, or did Roy want to have a go?
I think you should. I think Roy has gone silent. I think he's too afraid to give the answer.
I think you should answer.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't understand how anyone got to the heavy metal conclusion, because I thought that was quite misleading. But you guys who said heavy metal got it right. Who said heavy
Really?
metal? Jeroen
I think I did,
Ali.
and Ali did, yeah.
And Grant. Oh, it was Julian who said jazz whilst cooking. Yeah, not really a jazz while cooking kind of girl. And Spice Girls, not really. I mean, I'm really proud of what they achieved, you know, girl power and all of that. But yeah, it's got to be the heavy metal crew. Don't know if anyone else out there agrees with me. So pre-lockdown, been to quite a few gigs. Bad Wolves, Five Finger Death Punch, Korn, Slipknot. What?
Wow. No idea what you're talking about.
It's all coming out now.
It's all coming out. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. So we were going to go and see Guns N' Roses at the Tottenham Stadium in May, but that's now been rescheduled for next year, I think, June. So yeah, bit of a heavy metal fan, which is quite interesting. I mean, I enjoy a bit of listening to a bit of everything. Not averse to a bit of country music as well. So
Country thrash metal could be quite interesting.
Book by its cover, but no, definitely a heavy metal fan. Love it. And the last concert I went to, my friends and I were in the mosh pit, although I didn't do any moshing because that was way too dangerous.
No,
yeah,
right
in the thick of it, you know. And why not?
Definitely.
Did you see the Led Zeppelin concert?
Sorry?
Did you see the Led Zeppelin concert that was sort of like they had a couple of years back?
Didn't go to that one. No.
Okay.
But the last one we went to, which was Five Finger Death Punch, which was amazing. And that was pretty intense. So we were in the right at the front. Oh gosh, people had, it is wild. But, you know, after the year we've had, I'm so glad I, let's say, lived a little before, couldn't do anything after. So good memories.
Good.
Okay, so I think, again, the audience can, the message I've got is the audience can hear me. So I want to go next to Ali, who's going to give us his own story. So we've heard from Grant with his story. Here's another chance to hear from Ali and what his story is. So over to you, sir.
Sure. I know a lot of you in the securities lending industry have had, I think there's January conference that Clearstream run and so on. So all of us have been to Luxembourg, and it was one of these sort of like rather nondescript Januaries where I had flown across to Luxembourg, and you've seen the BA lounge there. So I was flying back and I go into the BA lounge, and there's it's just essentially a small room with a coffee machine. So anyway, so what I did was I grabbed some peanuts, pretzels and a drink. I settled down, there's no one else in, and I'm just flicking through the newspapers, and all of a sudden, who should walk in but Michael Caine, the actor. And so Michael basically sits down with me. I asked him, what are you doing? Are you filming in Luxembourg? He said, no, I have some personal business to attend to. Anyway, so I didn't inquire any further. We then proceeded to sort of like talk about the world, put it right. And he found out I was a tax advisor. Then he proceeded to open his briefcase, pulled out some charts, and we started looking at various investment structures. Anyway, I gave him some advice as to how it should be done. And anyway, 45 minutes later, it's time to board the plane. And he basically gives me his card, and he goes, contact me. And, of course, the work that you've done, bill me. So really the question is this story true or not? Or if there's any element of it that is not true.
Okay. Thanks for that, Ali. So, Julian, over to you.
So that is a very good story, Ali, and I'm a big Michael Caine fan. The probability of him being in Luxembourg, presumably with some offshore investments, is an interesting one. But I would like to think that the story is true. It sounds quite fun, and I think that you're telling, in principle, the truth.
Okay, very good. So that's one true, and Ali is now Michael Caine's offshore.
hear you.
Mute, and I'm no longer on mute. Ali, knowing you, I definitely think that's a true story. I think, you did have that honest conversation with Michael Caine, and you were so nice. You spent 45 minutes, looking at his paperwork for him. So I definitely think that's true. So, yeah.
Okay, so it's fair. That's true. And Grant.
I don't think it's true. I can't see Michael Caine, a man of his caliber, bringing out his paperwork in the middle of an airplane, waiting lounge. No, I could see him having a drink with you, Ali. I think that would be very nice. But tax advice at that point, nice idea, but definitely not true.
And as Steve Anderson has shared with all of us, not a lot of people know that, but thinks it's true.
I think if we're talking about Sir Michael Caine, CBE, it must be true. I think he's a hero, and I think he could talk tax and he could talk anything. And if tax was the topic with Ali, it was true, even though it was Luxembourg. But hey, true.
Okay, so that's we've got another one that's true. And
What do you think, Roy?
We've also got Eric from the audience who says it's true, and Steve says it's true.
So over to Ali.
And
Sure. Okay.
Is it true or not?
I like Grant's answer. It was true up to the point whereby it started talking about tax. But I was still intrigued what he was doing in that rather nondescript lounge in Luxembourg. I'm sure you've been to that beer lounge.
Yeah.
So it's not true.
No, only the last part, which is the tax advice. Everything else is true.
Question, Ali. Quick question.
True.
Okay, so true.
Yeah, just going. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Roy. Can you hear me?
Right. Yeah. So we're all good now. Look, that was great, Ali. I was going to say it's false. No, actually, I would have said it was true. So thanks for that. Listen, what we're going to do in a minute is tell what the prize is. Actually, in the meantime, can I ask everyone a question here? Which came first? The use of the word Christmas spelled Xmas, so use of Xmas, or the first short selling ban? So tell me what you think, and start with Julian. Which came first?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I hadn't thought about the root of the word Xmas before, so challenge of the day, step one. And the first short selling ban, I assume, might have been in the 1920s. I don't know if short selling was around then. So I will guess that the short selling ban was first and Xmas came afterwards.
Okay, thanks for that. Zafira? Oops.
Let me think. Short selling ban, the use of Xmas. I don't know. It's just like two really different things.
Quick.
I would just go with knowing, because it's your subject, Roy. I would say short selling.
Okay, thank you.
And now for me. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to call it. I'm going to say short selling came first. Christmas came second. Short selling of tulips in Amsterdam.
Okay, thanks for that comprehensive answer.
I was definitely going to go with the one that Grant said, the 17th century tulip bubble, and I don't think they spelled Christmas Xmas by those in those times. So it's definitely the short selling ban.
And last word to Ali. Sorry, hold on. Ali's just disappeared. He didn't want to answer the question. Hold on, he's back.
He's back.
He's back. And here you go.
Definitely.
Short selling. Okay. So I just want to let everyone know that it is a complete sweep. You're all wrong. The use of Xmas came first. There's two different origins from it. One says 1500s, one says 1100s, and it has to do with the use of Greek letters instead of the X. So the short selling ban came in the early 1600s. So Xmas was first. So I just want to very quickly, Jeroen, who was the winner of the prize?
By far, well, not by far, but Steve Anderson had 4 right answers, and Stefan Sander had 3. So yeah, Steve Anderson is the one.
Very close. But first of all, I'm going to
Congratulations.
You get to choose one of these things as a prize. A T-shirt, a mug, a mouse mat, or a beanie with the Pierpoint logo. That's part one. The second part is, Steve, if you tell us what your preference is, we'll give a £25 charity deposit in your name. So contact us separately, and we'll take your Pierpoint selection and let us know which charity. Although I might have an idea on where you're going to favor that. Listen, because we're over time, I am going to. I just want to listen to everyone. I really appreciate your time, Grant and Ali. Appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. Zafira, Jeroen, Julian, thanks for all the work that you've done this year, and thanks for participating today. Mostly, thank you very much for watching us either live and living with us through the interesting experience of sound. We piloted the muting before this for the first time, which was just a huge success. Or maybe less so. Now I think I'm going to hand over to Grant, who's going to ring us out on a happy note. So over to you, sir.
Okay. 'Twas a week before Christmas, and all through the town, people wore masks that covered their frown. The frown had begun way back in the spring, when a global pandemic changed everything. They called it Corona, but unlike the beer, it didn't bring good times, it didn't bring cheer. Airplanes were grounded, travel was banned, borders were closed across air, sea and land. As the world entered lockdown to flatten the curve, the economy halted and folks lost their nerve. From March to July, we rode the first wave. People stayed home, they tried to behave. When summer emerged, the lockdown was lifted, but away from caution, many folks drifted. Now it's December and cases are spiking. Wave 2 has arrived, much to our disliking. It's true that this year has had sadness aplenty. We'll never forget the year 2020. And just round the corner, the holiday season. But why be merry? Is there even one reason? To decorate the house and put up the tree. Who will see it? No one but me. But outside my window, the rain gently falls. I think to myself, let's deck the halls. So I gather the ribbon, the garland and bows. As I play those old carols, my happiness grows. Christmas is not cancelled, and neither is hope. If we lean on each other, I know we can cope.
Great. And thanks very much. And thanks, everyone. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a great one. Thanks, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks,
Merry
team.
Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.